catch a replay of the exchange on Saturday, 9 in the evening, and on Sunday at 11 in the morning and 5:30 in the afternoon. Freelancing saw an exponential surge this pandemic as businesses turned to freelancers for project-based work. Here with us tonight is Payoneer's Miguel to tell us how financial technology is helping the industry expand, and he joins us now from Hong Kong. Miguel, great to have you with us. In which sectors and industries are you seeing a rise in freelancing work?
So nice to be here, Rico. Actually, even before COVID-19, freelancing was already pretty big in the Philippines. There are an estimated 1.5 to 2 million freelancers in the country. And similar to our BPO industry, which generated $27 billion in revenue in 2020, freelancers are essentially engaged in online outsourcing. And we see more and more freelancers and SMBs participating in addressing this global online outsourcing opportunity. In a recent study released by Payoneer, the Philippines was actually one of the fastest growing countries globally for freelance, more than 200% growth year on year in terms of earnings.
But Miguel, are employers turning to freelancers because they don't have to pay them benefits and bonuses, just basically a straightforward project-based fee?
So actually, Rico, what we're seeing is that many small businesses in the US, in Europe, in the UK, and Australia, they actually find Filipino freelancers to have the right kinds of skills for them. Because Filipinos are really hardworking, customer-oriented, and we've got great language skills, this has really enabled many Filipino freelancers to be successful in roles like customer support, virtual assistants, and content writing.
But there are so many freelancers out there, and sometimes we don't know where to find them. How do we find these freelancers, Miguel?
So there are many great places online to look for freelancers. Payoneer actually works with some of the top freelance marketplaces globally, like Upwork, Fiverr, and onlinejobs.ph. And this is a place where freelancers can put their profiles and they can basically look for opportunities and jobs, as well as places like LinkedIn, where they can post their profiles and look for direct international clients.
And during this pandemic, which is now 19 months long and counting, Miguel, are freelancers basically also filling the global tech talent gap as well? Is there enough talent to speak of?
Indeed. One of the things that our customers are telling us is that as a result of the pandemic, the idea of a global talent pool of remote workers is really continuing to gain acceptance. And actually, one of the great things about freelance is that it's the path to entrepreneurship. So many of our customers, they've actually become SMEs and SMBs. They're hiring others, they're investing in infrastructure, and they're really finding more clients in more countries.
And when you speak with a lot of millennials these days, Miguel, they don't really want a 9-to-5 job. They'd rather have their own time and do project-based work.
So this is true. We actually do see a lot of freelancers who are just on a project basis and do it on and off. But what's really, really encouraging for me is the number of Filipino freelancers that are actually becoming businesses. They're actually investing in themselves. They're actually growing and expanding. And, you know, even in the countryside outside of Metro Manila, we see many rural BPOs coming up. And this is really, really encouraging, because what it means is that people can earn really great amounts online rather than having to come into the cities for work.
And how do digital platforms such as Payoneer help advance e-commerce and e-services in the country?
That's a great question. I think that globally we are really seeing a strong trend of digitalization. The pandemic has made businesses really realize that they have to digitize in order to retain their customers. And Payoneer works with both sides of the ecosystem. We work with marketplaces to help them pay the people that work on them. And we also work with the receivers. And one of the things that we're really starting to see is this strong adoption of financial technology, or fintech, if you like. So when you look at GCash, one of the largest mobile wallets in the Philippines, they saw exponential growth in terms of users and customer base in 2020 and 2021. And Payoneer has recently partnered with GCash to create an integration where freelancers can actually access in real time their foreign currency earnings in pesos and transfer it immediately into a GCash wallet.
And yesterday, we spoke with the CEO of GCash, Martha Sazon, and she was telling us over the past year, they saw a rise in gross transactions at about 1 trillion pesos, and now they see it even tripling over the next year. But it's still developing. How can the Philippines further improve its digital competitiveness compared to the likes of Hong Kong, Japan, or even Singapore?
One of the things that I'm really supportive of is the Department of Information and Communication Technologies drive towards developing IT and BPO in the countryside. I think there are many kind of next wave cities where the DICT is working with local stakeholders, local ICT councils, small businesses and freelancers that are based in those cities. They're training people to learn how to find their first job online. They're training them how to open businesses. And I think that as this happens, as more of these people start to build digital businesses, participate in the global digital economy, this is going to make us as a country very, very competitive globally.
Thank you so much for your insights. Miguel Warren from Payoneer joining us from Hong Kong.